Hey guys, it's Aiden back from the nest, and today I'm bringing another episode of Minecraft. You thought I was going to say Minecraft proper, didn't you? Well, not. I haven't been on YouTube in a very long time. I haven't been active, but I'm sorry for that. I haven't really been doing much. We had some cousins over recently. I've gotten on to record and been like, I can't do this. I want to right now. I want to do some Sectech Ages. This is modded Minecraft. It's a popular new pack that all the famous YouTubers are playing. I'm not doing it because of that. I started playing it because of that, because I was like, oh, this pack looks cool. But I'm doing this because I wanted to record, but I don't want to just do Minecraft proper. So I'm sorry for being on hiatus, and I'm sorry if you were looking forward to more Minecraft proper. But I think that Minecraft proper is going to have to go on hiatus for a while because there's only so much like Minecraft. I understand where Pathfinder can enjoy playing it every day because he's experiencing all these new things. Like, there haven't been too many episodes lately, but there's been a lot of live streams where he's playing with subscribers on the world. And I can see that it's getting to a point where he's like, oh, I want to do these new things. But for someone like me who's been playing the game since like 2010, a year after it came out, I've experienced a lot of the things Minecraft has to offer. And I've been playing this mod pack a bit. I've been playing this mod pack a bit since I got it. I have another world there you saw. We'll name this one Minecraft. Let's name this series Sectech Ages YouTube. That's just so I can remember. Here we go. To someone like me who's been playing the game for a very long time, I've experienced a lot of the things Minecraft has to offer, and so I can't. I get bored easily of just continuously playing vanilla, and I fully have been enjoying it. It's been really fun, and it's interesting to see that on my other world that I've done a few videos on, you'll see that I've done like a whole bunch of videos, or I've done a whole bunch of stuff. I'm at the point where I almost want to go get beat the Ender Dragon soon and end the series, and that would be where I would end the series. But I'm not even close to that on Minecraft proper yet. So the series won't be ending anytime soon. Not until at least after we beat the Ender Dragon, and then I think we might move on to after we finish Minecraft proper, which I want by the time by our current progression rate, by the time we finish the series, we'll be on like episode 100 something. So yeah, when we beat that, I want to bring back up Minecraft Vanilla, which was the multiplayer survival vanilla stuff we did. Some of it was creative, some of it was survival, some of it was all just vanilla, but it was multiplayer, and that was the reasoning behind it. I want to bring that back. I want to get some people who play that sort of like an SMP server, where a few people are playing together. Yeah, I want to do that. This is super useful. So I'm lagging pretty hard, because the world is all just first generating right now. But, let me see if I can change some video settings, maybe? Okay, this is fast, yes, this is bright, done, everything seems to be in order here. Okay, so we've entered this world, and I already know, I've played through this quite a bit already, so I'm already on age 1 in comparison to age 0, so I already know a lot of what needs to be done. So a good tip that I learned, you should definitely go watch Minecraft, you should definitely go watch the Yogscast. Duncan has a series that him, Lewis, and Jin are doing, their typical Minecraft, Duncan, Lewis, and Jin series they do. So a tip that I learned from them is that if you click it once fast and it doesn't break, leave it because it'll turn into ore later on. which it's nice to have a whole bunch of ore-related blocks all in one place there. That'll be fun. So another thing that I know that I probably want is I'll want to find a village that's relatively close and build near that. I also want to build near a water source, which I got lucky in my other world in that I spawned right next to a village that was next to a ravine that was next to a river. And so I was able to... Oh no, I can't recognize these bees. So that's another thing. There will be items that are unrecognizable. So this is lagging pretty hard right now, which is weird for me because I've been playing this quite a bit recently, and it doesn't really lag too often for me. So I'm going to try and see if there's something I can do, settings-wise, that might help this. I want to see how clouds look, because I've been playing the game without clouds for a while now. The clouds are fast, so that's nice. You'll probably be seeing a fair bit of lag on my end. I want to pick up a bunch of these rocks. Okay, cool. This rock breaks. I'm glad to see some rocks that do break, because I definitely like having ore in future generations, but also rocks and stones like this are super good to have in excess in some of the medium early generations, because you are going to immediately regret it if you don't have even any rocks. They're used in a fair bit of early stuff, and I've been using them a lot recently for crafting rocks and other stuff. Whenever something breaks, like a crafting rock breaks, you need to get a new one, and it's a cycle. I definitely, one thing I don't like about this mod pack is just that there's everything everywhere. I love it, but it's super annoying to, for me, in just regular Minecraft, to be walking around in like a plain field and then just have like grass all over the place that I have to like break in order to clear myself out the spot. So currently I'm sort of just exploring around looking for a place to live. Yeah. Let me finish that first thought. I'm not a fan of like having like all this grass and plants everywhere. Because it's a difficulty for me when I'm trying to do something like I want to build a house. Suddenly all this grass is in the way, and you can't get water buckets at all in this for like until very late in the generations can you get water buckets. So it becomes a problem. Good. Water source. So this is where we will be living. There are ways to get water and move it from a water source, but I prefer, throughout history, it is a pretty well-known fact that throughout history, great civilizations have always been built near water sources, like, Egypt and the Nile. Like, the town where I live is built right next to a river. It's built right next to the, in Colorado, one of the big famous rivers of Colorado. I won't say which one because I don't want to give too much appropriation to where I live. But if I just say it's close to one of the bigger famous rivers, that gives you some knowledge. So what I did for my other house was there was a village, like, imagine right over here, right? And then I came down and cleared out a big chunk of land because I built my house on that, and then I cleared out more land later when I needed some space for my yard, and then I had a little dock. It came down like right there. And I don't want to do that this time. I want to build sort of maybe like, I mean, currently our house isn't going to be anything. It's just going to be like a wall surrounding some building stuff. So let's clear out an area. I just want it to be like up here, and then maybe eventually have it like sort of scope off. Like, I want to just live right here for now, but eventually my end goal is to have it like right here and then scope off the edge with some supports and like a deck or something. I think that would look cool. So let's clear out an area for where we're going to live, first off, because living is an important part of being alive is an important part of this mod pack. So is eating. There's a nutrition thing, so the higher your nutrition, you'll get buffs occasionally. Like, I ate a lot of meats later in the series rather than, like, carrots and scrounging for whatever food I can get. So I had, like, a small health increase because I was eating a lot of meats, and so my meat nutrition was high. And so, here, I'll just show you. This was high, so the higher this gets, you want all of these to be high, essentially, so you get buffs, and if they're low, you get debuffs, like weakness or something. So you want to eat, it encourages you to eat a balanced diet so that you can get the maximum amount of buffs, but I just had, like, everything at 30% and protein maxed out, because I was eating nothing but meat. But that meant that I was getting, like, 3 debuffs and 1 buff, and that wasn't great. So it encourages you to eat a balanced diet. So we're going to take our first look here at the Ages tab. So here we have, I have created fire. It's too dangerous to go alone. So the first quest is hold a fire stick in each hand and click on a block to create fire. So the way to get fire sticks is, first off, you can't punch down trees in this version. I'm sure some of you watching this might already know everything about this pack from watching other YouTubers play it, because it is sort of the in pack right now. Like, yeah, for a while it was Farming Valley, which was like a remake of, which was sort of like a similar remake of, it was like a Minecraft version of Stardew Valley, I guess. There's always those in packs that all the, like, Minecraft YouTubers are going to be playing. I basically just go off of, like, the Yogscast and however they do their series, because whatever pack they're playing, I like to play as well, because then each time they upload a video, I can load up the pack and play while watching it. I don't know, maybe that's stupid, but I think it's fun, kind of. Okay, I can't get these leaves because all this grass is in the way. And I can't pick up these rush tips yet because I'm not at a high enough age. I'm still at age tutorial, which it's actually the only age you have for quite a while. Like, this tab gets very filled out, and then it moves on to the next tab. So, you need 4 sticks to craft 2 fire sticks. 1 goes in your offhand. This mod pack has to be played in 1.12, I believe. Or at least up to a version that has the offhand, because a lot of stuff is used offhand wise if you're going to be playing this in single player. So you're going to want to have, basically you just right click a block, 2 fire sticks, and it creates a fire. Now I haven't completed the quest yet because for some reason I have to first create a flint hatchet, which, in order to get a flint hatchet, you're going to need a stick at the bottom there, a fibrous, so here you have to put 3 of these in your crafting table like this, in your crafting inventory like this, to make plant twine, which is a very useful thing to have. It's used for making early stage tools, so you need 1 of this, and then a piece of flaked flint, which you get from making the highest tier quest, the highest up tier quest, which is mesh your flint. You need 1 of these meshes. So mesh, you get this, and it's 2 plant twines and 2 sticks. So you can take 2 sticks, 2 plant twines, get this mesh, and you have to go get gravel and put the gravel in your inventory, in your crafting inventory with the plant mesh, and it will turn all the gravel into flint, and then you have to hit that flint on a piece of stone, or like a stone, rock, bone block, a hard block, in order to basically smash it into flaked flint that you can use to make tools and such. Oh gosh. Oh no, what have I done? Oh, this has been a terrible mistake. I was worried I was gonna drown. Come on, baby. Oh, yep, drowning slightly. So it is going to be nighttime soon, which is terrible for me because I have no weapons. No weapons yet, and there's no early stage weapons I can get yet either. There is one, which is I can get a bone and hit it on a rock, and that will give me a. If I hit a bone on a rock, I believe that will give me a. And you can't hit it on these either. That would just break the rock. It's nice to see there's a lot of ore around here. These are all going to turn into ore, which I didn't get so lucky with the last time. Ah, okay, here. It's an early stage house, which, oh no, okay. There'll be some early stage houses you can find that'll occasionally have, like, there's little huts that have just, like, some sticks and wood blocks in them. And then there's these other early stage huts that'll sometimes have a single villager in them. And I believe that villager is set to always be a librarian that'll trade you for an atlas. So if you find a village and you can't find someone who will trade for an atlas, you can try and find one of those huts, and I believe it is an increased chance, if not 100% chance, of getting. It's also nice to see there's so many animals around here. Okay, an increased chance, if not a 100% chance of getting a atlas, which is the item that is basically it's basically like a whale minimap, like or not a whale minimap, the minimap you see in Tekkit Legends, like mod pack, the other mod pack I play quite often. You see a minimap and it just appears up at the corner of your screen. So as long as the atlas is in your hotbar, it will function as a. So basically, you just do this. And it turns into this flaked flint that you can then use, like so, to create a hatchet. And that has finished off the I've created fire quest, given me a fire stick, and it's given me a fire stick and a hatchet. And there's a spider chasing me, and a creeper. Oh wow, okay. This is what I mean. I think I'm playing on hard mode right now, so I could change that, but this is what I mean about the game being very not great at night if you don't have some kind of defensive layer to protect your body from all these beasties out here to get you. The way I'm going to do it is pretty simple. Again, anyone who's watched the Yogscast series is gonna know what this is. This is just the typical one block up and then a dirt spire thing. So I'm gonna need to get like a wall of dirt up here. Sort of. Ah, good. A bone. I can use this and turn it into a weapon by hitting it on a rock. So the sooner I can get an early stage pickaxe and get a some stone going up in here, the better. But luckily, we found stone pretty early under the ground. See, now I have a sharp bone. Business time quest complete. It is a weapon. Whew, I'm lagging every time I go to swing at that creeper, so excuse me if that looked absolutely atrocious. We can now cut down this tree. That is the plus side of this endeavor, is that I can now cut down this tree and gain immortality. No, I gained wood, which I can turn one log here. It's an interesting new system to get planks, which is you put one log in a crafting table, obviously like you would do under the assumption that you get planks, but instead it makes a chopping block, and that chopping block right there can be placed down on the ground, and oak wood will be placed on it. Logs of any type can be placed on it, and those logs have to be physically chopped into planks, which I will be using to build my border. Will not be logs. It will be planks to build a border. Also, okay, wow, there's... See what I mean about what I was saying about the whole, oh, I don't even want this. About the world being super dangerous at nighttime, so don't, like, go around willy-nilly, in the middle of the night. Build yourself, like, first, as soon as possible. If you don't find a house, if you don't find a place to live right away, like I didn't live in the first place I spawned. If you choose to go elsewhere to find your living conditions, please make sure the first thing you do is try and get some sort of defensive barrier around your house, be it a wall or just like a dirt pillar or something, like a dirt pillar to sit on and wait out the night. I'm not doing that because I'm bad, but please do that. Please get some kind of defensive wall because this game likes to F you over at night. Okay, yeah, see, this is not fun. This is dangerous, and this guy's gonna kill me. I don't like fight. Another reason I don't like the grass. Spiders just become an impossibility, like an unreachable goal, when there's grass everywhere, because you end up just breaking the grass instead. Kind of want that string, it's the problem. But so be it. I can't pick up monster parts yet. Okay, wow, that was... I can't pick up any monster parts yet, so essentially you'll just drop items. If you scroll over an item to try and equip it, and you don't know what it is, it hasn't been identified yet, meaning it won't even show up in this. Like, if I remove this, it won't show up in the NEI. There's only 2 pages of NEI right now. It won't show up in that until I've unlocked it in the game, essentially. Oh, looks like there's a lava pit over there. That will be good to harness. Oh, also, because you can't get bows, skeletons just have these... They have to manually attack you. But they just have trumpets, which, like, do knockback damage, I guess? Slightly increased knockback damage. And now they're coming after me. Reminds me of Breath of the Wild, having to eat while running away from monsters, because that's what you do whenever you're low on health in the middle of a fight. It's like, oh, let me just eat, like, a whole bunch of different meals. Look, a creeper just blew up behind me. Yep. Oh, wow, this is, something else, isn't it? What a good way to start a video. By thousands of demons chasing me across the land. And these guys match the terrain quite well. They're like sneaky ninjas. That's why they're called creepers, I suppose. Because they're like demonic little boys running around trying to kill you and all that. And they match the land. It's awful. It's awful, let me assure you. In no way do I suggest that you should go out into the world and gather creepers to use in some form of creeper army. No, it's a bad idea. Don't do that. You will 100% you will die. They will kill you. Same with most of the mobs in this game, though. They're all very dangerous. All the things. It's like Australia. Like, everything is dangerous. Even, like, the cute things, like koalas, are like, there are those koalas that jump out of the trees and kill people. And then the ones that have chlamydia or whatever. Sexual STDs. STD koalas. It's crazy. Don't go to Australia unless you're well prepared to not get completely murdered by everything. All of nature in Australia wants to kill you. The kangaroos, they'll box you to death. Frickin' koalas, deadly spiders and snakes. Even the cities are dangerous, what with all the cars and people danger, like, you know, the dangers of normal society. Like kidnappers or people who run you over or something. I don't know. any dangers that are in a normal city, apply those to Australia, because they apply to all cities. But also then apply thousands of other nature dangers. Which is why I love Australia. Don't any Australians watching this, please don't assume that I'm trying to hate on Australia here. It's one of my favorite places because of the fact that it's just like everywhere. What part is not okay? So these are the dangerous parts. Where are the not, are there any places that are not dangerous? No, all of it. All of it is dangerous. It's all danger. Just all of it. There's no lack of danger here. Which is why it's definitely one of my favorite places on the planet. It's amazing. It's so not dangerous where I live. Like, you're not even likely to run into a rattlesnake, which those aren't even that dangerous. I mean, it's like desert, and then some houses, and some farms, and then more desert. I mean, maybe you'll get like a black widow on your chair or something, and you just like hit it with a newspaper. It's dead. It's like, oh, I guess that was something. Good job, spider. I guess. I don't know how to respond to this. I freak out at spiders, though. I can't act as if I don't freak out every time a spider crawls on me. I totally do. They're spooky boys with all the legs and the death. I mean, none of the death. Even if a freaking black widow bit you, you'd probably only get, like, minorly sick. Well, some of them can get you pretty sick, so don't take my words as law and then go start touching spiders. Please don't. Just leave the wildlife alone, please. I don't know. I can't assume, like in Japan, in anime and stuff, it's a common thing for it's like, don't leave your hair wet when you get out of the bath because you'll catch a cold. And there's all these things about like ways to get sick, like catching a cold, and then there's all these things about like getting sick in Japan, and then like these other, I can't remember, but there was another thing recently where it was like this super mundane thing. Oh yeah, it was like don't leave your hair wet when you get out of the bath because you might catch a cold. And I'm like, yeah, I understand that, I guess in some cases you might. It's never happened to me. But the other one was, don't sleep in the nude, wear like pajamas. And apparently it's a really common thing to wear like full body pajamas there. And it's like, don't sleep in the nude, you'll catch cold. And I'm like, no. I can assure you, I've never caught a cold from sleeping in nothing but my underwear. I can assure you, it's every night. Clothes are not comfortable to sleep in unless I'm really tired, and I don't even sleep at night. I sleep during the day. Although I might be awake today, because I woke up from falling asleep in my bed and it was dark out. It was like 10 p.m. and I was like, is this the magical one-time chance to sleep and be awake during the day? Because my sleep schedule is broken, and I tried to sleep tonight to try and fix it so that I'd be awake tomorrow and then sleep at night. But no. Essentially, couldn't fall asleep. So now we're here, and I'm recording YouTubes, and that's awesome. I'm really happy to be here recording again, because I feel like I was kind of in a bit of a slump with not being able to record lately. I was totally able to. There was nothing stopping me other than my own emotional, or my own mental, psychological, and physical limitations. Like, psychologically, I wanted to, but I was like, I just can't. I had some emotional stuff going on as well. I just couldn't bring myself to, like, sit down and do a proper recording like this. And then I wasn't even, like, participating in any, like, live streams or anything either. I was basically just went, like, dead. I went off the grid for, like, almost a couple weeks now. like I was still talking on Discord, but like wasn't participating in any of the normal live stream stuff I participated in. Wasn't watching live streams or commenting. I was still watching the occasional YouTube video, and I was definitely watching Yogscast play Sectech and playing Sectech. But yeah, I feel like I've been kind of inactive. I feel like I'm like, oh, what was I doing instead of YouTube? But I'm thinking back on it, and I'm just like, I really wasn't doing anything, like at all. I was just sleeping a lot and kind of dying inside. So I'm glad to be out of that. I'm not a fan. I do not recommend just being dead inside. It's kind of ruins your life. Definitely don't, if you ever plan on enjoying yourself doing things. I don't know where I'm fully going with this, but my point still stands that I have just been completely inept in my ability to do anything lately. Like, under the assumption from stories I've heard on YouTube and from people, it's like being super high. Where a story I heard was that a friend of mine got super high, and they wanted to play video games, but they just couldn't. And they just couldn't. They were just sitting there for like almost a day or two, and it feels like that, but without the being high. I'm just sort of dying inside of my body. So I'm not high. I don't do any drugs or alcohol or anything, but I just couldn't do anything for days. I played with my cousins, but a lot of the times I'd go to bed and I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna force myself awake and play with them, and I'd force myself awake, and we'd be about to go swimming, and I'd just be like, I just can't do this. I can't force myself into doing anything right now. And so I'm glad that I was able to bring myself towards recording this, because I feel like I was probably going to die if I just kept on like that. I was eating a fair bit, though, so I was eating and drinking water, but I feel like I would just, psychologically, I feel like I would mentally die, in the sense that I would just go brain dead and be unable to function as a person beyond just eating and sleeping and basic human functions like those. So I'm glad that I was able to pull myself out of that. And I think a lot of what started it was that I decided to watch Pathfinder's live stream for just a few seconds, and I was like, man, this is what I used to do. And that was like, even if it wasn't like a social life, like I didn't go out and talk to people, I was a part of this community of people who were recording and doing live streams and YouTube stuff, and that inspired me to do a lot of YouTube. And I watched his live stream just earlier tonight, and I was like, I used to do this. This is who I was. I did YouTube, and now I'm just like this sad, depressing person. Like a sad, like, sack of sadness. A sad sack. I was just a freaking sad sack, like, all the time. And it was not fun. Let me assure you. I was not having a good time. Just being constantly sad. But now I'm back doing YouTube. Not sad anymore, by any means. I'm awake, I'm alert, and I'm ready to do some Sectech Ages. Let's get into it. This has been fun. This episode has been very productive. We've progressed through some goals. We're gonna make a tomahawk and a tomahawk. How cool is that? That's me. I'm Tomahawk. Isn't that cool? I think it's cool. I think it's cool that I'm kind of in the game. Not really by any means. I have to right click this? How do I've forgotten how to what? Oh, cool. I have another one. Yes, it happened. Okay. I need a flaked flint point, which I believe the tomahawk is like the only thing in the entire game that does this, by the way. It's the only thing I've seen so far that actually uses this method. Oh wait, no. That uses the like flaked flint point. It's the only thing in the game I found so far that uses the flaked flint point as a method of transfer. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know what I'm talking about with this method of transfer. I have 2 crafting rocks now though, so that's a thing. And here we have a spear. Cool, we have both of the weapons now. And also I'm going to put these in this chest, along with one of these crafting rocks, because I have 2 now, so it's not worth my time to have both of them. So I can throw away these flowers. I know I have the option of putting them in my chest, but they would just clutter up my chest. That's crazy, so no to that, thank you. I would prefer not. So I know these chests are kind of bad in the idea that they don't store very much, and I know a lot of people don't like them in the idea that you have to do this as well. But I'm really way into the idea of like this. It's bad once you get a whole bunch of stuff, obviously, because your inventory starts filling up with like your chests start filling up with like, because they can only store 1 stack of each type of item. So your inventory starts filling up with like plant fibers, and you're like, oh, I need these because they make plant twine, which is good for a whole bunch of stuff. So you instinctively keep it, and then you just have a whole bunch of plant fibers in your chest, stacks upon stacks of them. Same thing with dirt. In my case, is that I just have a whole bunch of dirt in my chest, like constantly, and it's not in any way useful. Also, I'm literally about to upgrade all my tools to stone tools, which I wasn't paying attention to the quest line the first time I played through this, so I ended up playing like practically the entire game. I ended up playing like the first, like more than the first half of the game up until age 1, using just continuously remaking flint tools and sharp bones before I found out that I could make stone tools instead, which was a game changer for me, and now I just have a whole bunch of stone tools instead. It's way better. I'm thankful for even if it was a little late in comparison to the time that I could have done it, I'm thankful for the ability to now have stone tools in my world, which is something I did not previously have. So now I have this pickaxe, which I can use down here to get some stone. Which I'm glad that we hit stone, because as you can see here, the first time I ever built a little mineshaft to get some stone, for like a whole bunch of blocks. I think I was at level 20 when I finally first hit stone, and I just kept running into veins of like mud and limestone and granite and andesite and diorite and all this other junk. Now we can make regular stone tools, like so. I think we can do this. It makes sense that we should be able to. Yes, awesome. We can make regular stone tools now, instead of continuously having to function on sharp bones and other garbage. Now I have these weapons, and this is what the pit does. For anyone who didn't understand how my wall worked, the zombies can't get in, but I can with just a simple jump. Also, I like running into leather armored zombies early in the game because they quite commonly, in my experience, drop good stuff. Now, I normally would throw away my flint tools, but same thing with just vanilla Minecraft. I usually keep a wooden pickaxe with me in a chest or something. Like the first wooden pickaxe I ever make, if it doesn't break, I'll usually keep it in a chest or something, somewhat as a memento, but also just as like the fact that I made it to this, also as like an emergency pickaxe, essentially. So whenever I go mining, I used to bring a wooden pickaxe with me in case all my pickaxes broke while I was mining and I had to get out and I couldn't find my way out of the cave, and I would have to mine my way out, so I'd get a wooden pickaxe with me. But instead, I've just started bringing like half a stack of wood, so I can make a crafting table, sticks, new stone pickaxe, new iron pickaxe, furnace, all that. So we need to get a work knife, which I can get with, first off, this is what I needed earlier, this is why I wanted the cobblestone as soon as possible, because I can just place one in the ground, and do my flake flint directly on it, which is super useful. So I know that there's probably going to be a lot of this, me just spamming my inventory open and closed in this video, because that is something I'm doing, and I can admit to that. Mainly because what happens is I'll need to get something out of my inventory, and then I'll see I have it in, the inventory will take a second to open, so I'll try to close it and then open it again, but the end result is just me spamming my keyboard to open my inventory. So now we have this work knife as well. Flint work knife, really useful item in this game, like one of the most useful items you can find in this game, so definitely always keep track of one of these if you have one, always keep track of it. It's not the most useful item in some of the early stage stuff. The reason I'm doing this is just as a pillar so I can find my base if I'm far away. It's not as used in some of the earlier stage stuff, but once you get later stage in the world, like, it is definitely a must-have for your world. Get one of these. Get a work knife. You can use it to make string, which is something I was constantly running out of. For fleece, and you can use it for all kinds of stuff. So definitely have one of these. So I think I'm going to end this video here. So far we've done pretty well. We've got a log, a base. We finished a whole bunch of the first tutorial age. So in tomorrow's episode we'll be working towards farming and an atlas. We'll get some fish, make a strainer and a kiln, and work towards I know now that is a Necronomicon, which is something useful that I should get. But yeah, gonna work towards all these quests, gonna get hoppers and all that, and then hopefully we'll be entering Age 2 soon, or Age 1. I haven't even hit Age 2 on my personal world, which I've been playing for days. So, this is Hayden, signing out, and I will see you in the Skyhawklings. Remember to always spread your wings, and of course, stay awesome. Bye. This has been fun.